Hello my dear students, how are you doing today? Today we are going to discuss some important things about Certified Management Accountant or CMA certification. Uh, like you already know that CMA happens to be an American certification which is awarded by Institute of Management Accountants. Now in this certification there happens to be two parts or two examinations are there, part 1 and part 2. In this short video I am going to let you know what are those parts, what are the brief syllabus contents, and I will also share with you some tips and techniques how you can study well and you can pass your CMA examination in first attempt. So stay tuned, stay with me. The thing is that first of all you need to understand that what are the brief areas, the syllabus contents in case of CMA part 1 and then part 2. When we talk about CMA part 1, there happens to be 5 broad areas are there, 5 broad syllabus areas are there. The first area, this is called basically external financial reporting. External financial reporting, this is the area which is going to cover important concepts related to financial statements like statement of financial position, income statement, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, notes the financial statement. Apart from that, this area is going to discuss some very important disclosures as per US GAAP, and that is also going to let us know what are the differences between IFRS and US GAAP. This area is particularly very important from financial accounting point of view because here in this area we are going to cover some very important concepts which on day-to-day basis financial accountants do encounter them. For example, property, plant and equipment, for example the treatment of assets, for example inventory, for example receivables, and the concept of allowance for uncollectible receivables or provision for doubtful debts. So these are basically few areas from the perspective of external financial statements we are going to cover in this area. Now let me tell you that in my all the videos I am going to follow the GLIME publication. Now let me tell you that in case of GLIME publication there happens to be 13 units, or simply you can say there are 13 chapters are there, right? So let me tell you, listen very carefully, that when I am going to now link up the GLIME chapters with that of, you can say, the syllabus of CMA part 1 for the time being. When we talk about, you see, unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, that is going to deal with external financial reporting component of CMA part 1 syllabus, right? So unit number 1, 2, 3, that is like a one group under external financial reporting. Clear? The next portion, the next big syllabus area in case of CMA part 1 syllabus is, this is called basically cost management. Cost management or the management accountancy portion is there, right? So in GLIME book, unit number 4, unit number 5, unit number 6 is going to cater basically the management accountancy portion, management accountancy or the cost accounting portion, right, which is very important area from the examination point of view. Now the thing is that in this broad area we are going to cover up different concepts of management accountancy, like the calculation of per unit cost, total cost, absorption costing, variable costing, activity based costing, process costing is also there, the concepts of allocation of indirect cost, material, labor, overhead, these things we are going to cover up. So that area covering unit number 4, 5 and 6, very important. Another area, the third portion, which I'm just going to discuss in front of you, that is called basically performance management, right? So in GLIME, unit number 7 and unit number 11 is going to take up the portion of performance management, right? So here in this portion we are going to discuss different concepts. By applying them we can achieve operational efficiency corporations, in our companies. Apart from that, there is another portion also which is going to cover up the concept of responsibility accounting. What are the different types of responsibility accounting, and how we are going to do the performance management in each and every case of responsibility accounting. Apart from that, there is one portion in unit number 7 and 11 which is going to cover up the concept of you see, the transfer pricing. So transfer pricing is also going to be covered up over here. Okay, the next portion which I consider is equal to the importance of cost accounting, very important. This is called basically planning, budgeting and forecasting, right? So planning, budgeting and forecasting, right? So in Gleim book, unit number 8, unit number 9 and unit number 10 is going to take up the portion of the planning, budgeting and forecasting. Like this portion, this very important portion of CMA part 1 is going to cover up the concepts, like as the name is saying, how we can do the forecasting analysis in case of our organizations, what are different types of forecasting techniques, apart from that, which different methods are there which we can apply in our organization to do better planning and forecasting. Apart from that, this area is going to cover up you can say the operational budgeting portion. Operational budgeting means how we are going to prepare sales budget, production budget, direct material budget, labor budget, manufacturing overhead, non-manufacturing overhead. Apart from that, we are also going to discuss how to prepare the pro forma income statement and pro forma balance sheet. Pro forma here means, like the forecasted income statement and forecasted balance sheet. Apart from that, this area is also going to cover a very important concept which is related to cash budgets. Cash budgeting portion is also going to be covered up, right? So unit number 8, 9 and 10 is going to cover planning, budgeting and forecasting. Clear? Okay, so let's move ahead. Another portion of CMA part 1 is going to be covered under internal control. Internal control portion. So internal control portion in Gleim book is covered under unit number 12 and unit number 13, right? So unit number 12, 13 is going to cover up internal control. Internal control concepts, they are very, very important. You might be wondering, because CMA likes management accountancy certification, so why we are concerned about internal controls and internal auditing. The thing is that with the changing circumstances of the business, it is very, very important that the student should understand the concept of internal control. Internal control, because management accountants happens to be one of the major component in the whole internal control system of an organization. Apart from that, these units are going to give you some introduction to internal auditing as well. Apart from that, we are going to discuss not only different types of controls, we are not only going to discuss manual controls but also application controls. For example, input control, processing controls, output controls. These classification we are going to discuss, right? So that happens to be some brief idea about CMA part 1, 5 syllabus areas are there, right?